Oh, look at the little horse. The little pony. Okay, this is an exciting time for the channel because these arrived today. What are these, you might be asking? Well, this is something that I've been flipping waiting on for ages because Amazon messed up my order. Of all the companies, Amazon. But yeah, I've been waiting forever because I've got a new helmet which you guys haven't seen yet, which is why I'm about to do a cool little reveal. But I've been waiting for these because, and I'll explain why. Get the new helmet, sorry, the old helmet. That right there is the piece I've been missing in order to make videos on the bike with the new helmet. So it's been annoying. Today is exciting because I can now transfer the drift camera to the new helmet using one of these. And oh, have I been waiting? Trust me. Are you ready? Oh, yes. Now we're talking. Look at that. Yeah, I've actually had this. How long have I had this? About 5 months, 4 months. I got it way before Christmas. I actually got it at the bike show in Birmingham, which I've completely forgot what the actual name of the show's called, and that's really embarrassing. But yeah, it was on offer and it was a really good deal, and I actually knew the guy. Bit of a backstory. The person who I bought the R125 off sold me this helmet. So yeah, and I just got a really good deal on it. So that was pretty cool. And I'm happy now because, like, I'm not gonna lie, that helmet I think was a bit too big for me. Now I've wore this and it's like perfect size and I can like move my head around and it just, you know, it fits perfect to my head and it's just class. The only problem I have with it is the bloody visor steams up when you're riding really slow, so you have to kind of like, I can't do it with one hand because it's really hard, but yeah, and that's not going to happen. But I have to ride with the actual visor cracked open a little bit just to let air through. That's a pain in the arse, but once you're up to speed and you're riding, it's absolutely fine. Anyway, I'm going to get one of these on, I'm going to get the camera on, the mic set up, and then we're going to have to head out on the MT07 and do a sound test. And you know what? I've done so many of these, like I've done so many sound tests, so many camera angle checks, and I've never filmed it, and I don't know why. Like, I really don't get why, because it's like part of my thing, you know. It's interesting for you guys to see actually how many times I have to go out and then come back and then go back out again and come back and make sure it's perfect. But you never know, it might be a first time wonder for the AGV, it might be perfect. Alright, so we have a slight issue, okay? So I'll give you a backstory. Basically, I was kind of flapping because I didn't know whether these would come in time for my little track day that I've got at Three Sisters tomorrow. And I really wanted to use the new helmet rather than the old helmet. So what I did was I messaged one of my mates. You guys have seen him, his name's Stu, and he rides the Aprilia Tuono. He's been in a few of my videos anyway. And I was like, look man, because I know he has a drift, have you got one of these like, you know, these curved edge drift things? And he's like, yeah, sure mate. So I went up to see him yesterday, went to his, I got it. Where is it? Oh, I've got the camera attached to it, that's the one. There's his, right? Fantastic. A curved drift mount, which is brilliant. That's exactly what I needed. Fantastic. So I got that off Stu. These came today. And what's this donkey ordered? Bloody flat. Flipping flat. The thing is, I've came in with a bit of luck, right? Because my old helmet, I actually needed a curved drift mount, right? The actual helmet side is curved. I came to put this one on before, and if you look at the side of this helmet, it's a lot flatter than the old one. So, yes, I've ordered the wrong ones, but I've came in with a bit of luck because the curved mount, I mean, I don't know if you can, it just doesn't sit flush with the side of the helmet. So, I made literally an hour's round trip. It's half an hour there and half an hour back pretty much to my friend's house. And I don't even need the curved mount. I actually need the flat mount. So how much banter have I received? Yeah, had a bit of a nightmare. I've put on the mount and it's just not level. It just isn't. So I'm sat here now with a bloody hairdryer trying to flipping heat it up, and then my ghettoiest thought ever of getting a bloody tape measure because it's quite thin and literally just trying to saw the thing off like that. Like it's just oh god. Oh, this is bad. Oh my god, yes. Whew. I was panicking there, I am not gonna lie, I'm just so glad that's off. Leo, whatever you do, mate, do not touch that sticky pad, because otherwise you're gonna have a drift mount stuck to you for the rest of your life. Oh god. Back to the drawing board. Jesus Christ. A bloody hairdryer, man. Oh. Alright then, so I've managed to sort it out. Bit of a change up. 2017 new helmet, and also the camera is on the right hand side. Let me explain. So basically, I put the camera on and I put it on the left hand side first, as you saw before, and for some reason, on a drift, you've got this little arrow here, right? And basically you can spin the lens to counteract the fact that the camera is on an angle. So there right now, the helmet's level, but the camera is like slightly off to the left, as we're looking at it. So if you're the camera, you're off to the right. What the lens allows you to do is counteract the off balance so that the lens spins around and it just points up, directly up. It's hard to explain, but basically, even though the camera's on an angle, the lens is actually straight, so it's viewing exactly what my eyes are viewing, which is good. Now, on the left-hand side, that lens wouldn't spin round enough for it to be pointing up. It was just slightly off. I don't know whether I've put the footage in from me testing the drift out or whatever, but I was looking in the mirror, and it's just like slightly off. And I can't counter it because the lens isn't like a 360 degree, it's something like 354 degrees or whatever, so I was just missing that tiny bit of degrees where I could twist it around to counteract it. So I've managed to put it on the right hand side this time, and it's worked perfectly, and the mic is all, so I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have got this helmet, and you know, I've got the, it's the GT Veloce, or Veloci, or I don't really know, I'm not Italian. Obviously just like run the mic lead around a few times, standard thing, and then I'm running mine in this little gap here, and then I'm not sure whether you'll be able to pick it up very well. Yeah, you can just about see, but basically the mic is literally down here in like a little hole, so fingers crossed it works. I'm going to take it out now, give it a little test. I'm just going to go for a little ride. And I might as well bring you guys along with me, so let's go and do this. This is so different now because I've got to check the right mirror to check my drift. Oh god. First world problems. We are recording though, which is good. I have to really lean down to see that actually. That's what's going on there. Okay. Okay! Well, hopefully you guys can see. And hopefully the sound's alright as well. Just going to take it easy the first few bits because I've just washed it and cleaned it and lubricated it, kind of. I'm still not finished actually, I've done the rear wheel, but I also adjusted the chain and never really had to do it. This is like my first time on my own doing it. So, I mean, I think I've done it correctly, but it's always one of them things, isn't it? It's like when you cook for the first time, you're there like probing it about 500 times with a fork, making sure that it's cooked. And right now, I'm currently probing my chicken. I'm riding it nice and slow. I don't want the rear wheel to just fling off. Although I used the torque wrench, set the torque wrench to the correct amount of torque for this bike. It's on, and it's nice. Right, front wheel looks alright, brakes work.
nice and low. Oh yes! My plan here is very simple. It is literally to just ride about, have a little ride. Oh, that backfire. And I need to make sure that the wind noise isn't bad, the camera angle is good, and that the thing isn't going to fall off. And also I'm like testing my bike here as well. This is kind of like a pre-season test for tomorrow. Old geezer in his Mercedes. You want to race, boy? You want to race? Let's see what he does. He looks like the type of old guy that's like, I have to prove to these youngsters that I can drive. Let's see. He's in the outside lane already. He's not going for it though. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to take this on track. A lot of people seem to diss the rear shock, and I do agree to a certain point. There's a little bit of how can I describe it? It feels like a soggy sponge when you're going really fast and you hit a bump. That's probably the best explanation I can, you know, it feels quite, where are these cars going here, like, is this gate? Yeah, it just doesn't feel good enough. But, you know, when you pay sort of like £6 for a bike, come on, what do you expect? You know, it's a nice, fast, cheap bike. And to be fair, like if you're worried about the rear shocks that much, they're not that expensive. You can get one, and not a bad one as well, for like sort of £250. And if you want to go up and you want to get like O-lins or whatever, then flipping do it, you know, but you pay the price. And that's the problem, like people expect all bikes to be the best these days, you know, like take this bike for example, alright? The only thing that I'm not really happy about is the rear suspension, and this is just me by the way, ABS. I'm not a fan of ABS. I don't like it. For some reason, I just really do not get on with it. It's like, if I'm coming into a corner quite fast and I get hard on the anchors, you jump on them and it like instantly just, I know you guys know how ABS works, but I'm just trying to explain the sensation of when you're coming into a fast corner, you need to get down to like a certain speed, you slam the anchors on, and then all of a sudden the brake's there like pulsing because the ABS is stopping the wheel from locking. Now in a way, I feel like I'd be able to ride the bike a little bit better if it didn't have ABS, because of the fact that I don't know where the limit is with the braking. I don't know where the wheel will lock and when it will. Whereas without ABS, like on the last bike, I didn't have that. Stand by, this corner's pretty good. I think for a beginner rider who has never rode before, it's fantastic because it's that safety precaution where if say for example they come up to a corner and they just flap sort of thing and shit themselves and don't know how to get around it by leaning over the bike, whatever, they'll slam on the brakes, and 9 times out of 10 you see like all these YouTube videos of riders just slamming the front brake, losing the front, and it's like, ah, gone, low side. I'm going to turn around here. So yeah, in that aspect I think it's fantastic, but for a guy like me, I don't know, you know, I'm not saying I'm a professional or anything, but I've ridden bikes for a long time. And by the way, if you own an MT07, comment down below, because I'm very intrigued as to how many of my subscribers actually own MT07s. Now I know there's the really popular, like, I know it's like a Facebook page mainly, but basically it's like all the MT07s in the UK like meet up and go on big rideouts and stuff. I'd really like to go on one of them, but I don't want to just turn up on my own. So if you guys own an MT07, let me know, or message me on Facebook, that's probably your best bet, and then we can we can go to one of these meets, because I'm really intrigued. They really look good, actually. Look like my kind of thing, you know, like getting out, getting involved, getting to know people, just showing off your bike. If you own an MT07, contact me. Hey, oh, it's in between his car.